Hi there, I'm Mark Sebastian, founder of OptionPit.com, and this is the AM Volatility Report. Reminder, none of this should be considered investment advice. Options have risk. Consult your financial professional. All right, folks, our option wheel is rolling along, and we're loving it. So things have been good with the new option wheel program. If you have interest in it, shoot me an email, or there's a click above this video in the blog. So come and check it out. All right, so let's talk about the market. Well, we're up about 5, and VIX is down. So basically, we're just making up what we gave away yesterday. That's all it really amounts to, is that we're, essentially making up for yesterday's gains, and that's it. So, not the most exciting day today, but you look around and USO oil is unchanged, flat as a pancake. Vol though is in pretty decently, which I think is a bit of a surprise. You've got a nice dip in implied volatility, but without much of a move in VIX itself or the S&P. Take a look at VIX futures here. They did get a little bump yesterday, but May futures are below 14 now. So just everything is in, which we think is kind of shocking, considering what's on the table. These French elections are getting pretty serious, but yet you watch and they are just tanking VIX futures. I haven't seen this type of tank job in a while. Looking around at individual equities, look at Apple. This is one that we're looking at our strategy letter that we really like. It's a name that I've been fooling around with personally as like a fun little Momo trade, momentum trade. Bought a few of these yesterday. I'm going to dump them. All right, sold them. And you can see that not only this is what happens when you get a move. All right, so this is one of the. I want to take a minute to look at Apple here. So this is what we say when vol gets cheap enough, it can rally on a rally, and that's what we're seeing today. Because vol got so cheap yesterday, and this was in our strategy letter, that we were like, we're idiots if we don't buy this stuff. So we put together a long bull strangle. So it had long deltas, but it was a strangle with a little bit of time spreading thing. And we're getting a win in our deltas with that rally in Apple, and a win in volatility because volatility was so cheap. So for all those that say, well, volatility can't rally when stocks go up, yes, it can, especially when a stock makes a quick, strong move. And we've seen that in Apple. We've seen that in Facebook, where Facebook vol is getting silly cheap too. I mean, just stupid cheap. And at a certain point, you have to say, all right, how much cheaper can this get? And, this vol is just, this is going to be, we're going to set up a similar trade in Facebook, I think, with this huge rally in Facebook and just a tanking. So the gap stocks are seeing some opportunity reform in them. All right, Facebook volatility is about as cheap as it's ever been, and this is not the cash giant that Apple is, and yet it's a 13 vol stock. Here are some options that maybe can be bought. I think there's money to be made in Facebook. Those options are too cheap. The next one might be, the next mover might be Google or Amazon, but we're seeing good moves out of Apple and Facebook today. Financials continue to look a little weak. But if you look at the individual sectors, they're kind of mixed. You've got energy up a touch, building materials up a touch, industrials down, financials down, and retail down. Everything else kind of up a little bit. So on the margins, everything is up. Vol's in, except in the Russell, and VIX options continue to be really cheap. All right. And this is the last thing I'll say is that if you look at VVIX. Again, it's right at 2-year lows. VIX options have not been this cheap in a very long time. It is not, and May futures, which are 60 days out and cover French elections, are below 14. I can build a cheap hedge around that, around a trade that could perform reasonably well. All right, folks. If you have questions, you can email me, mark@optionpit.com, or call me 888-TRADE-01.